Ed, I have said for a long time that Pathan was like my favorite Indian movie to watch. This has, I think, surpassed it. This movie is fantastic.
Pizza time.
Oh, that was super delayed. Oh, we got some technical difficulties today, people.
Wait,
It's
really?
okay.
Was it? Oh, shoot.
I don't know. It's weird. Ed's in Japan. I'm in America.
I'm still in Japan, guys.
Yeah, he's still
in Japan.
living his dream life, going around Japan. Actually, just going around Tokyo and Kyoto, I believe. But yes, Ed will be back in the States
so many more cities
next week. Yeah. So next week we'll have back to a normal background for Ed.
Unfortunately, I'll be back. Yes, in about a couple days only.
He has to come back to the shit show that is America.
It's so shit. I love it here, but it's also. But I'm in vacation mode. I'm not above the fact that like clearly the situation I'm in is still around the fact that I'm in a hotel and not like having to pay bills like that. So I'm aware of it. That being said, I've had a greater time here in the last a week and a half than I've had in LA in like since pre-pandemic. So
damn. Anyway, welcome back to Indian Cinema Tuesday. This might be a little delayed upload, just because we had some scheduling conflicts. Ed got sick on vacation. What a bummer. But anyway, guys, thank you. Welcome back. Please hit the like, subscribe, all that stuff, so we can keep this going. We see all your comments. We hear you. We're trying to get more done. At the same time, we don't want to get too burnt out on anything, so we're keep going at the pace we're going at, try to enjoy and give the movies the credit they need and deserve. Anyway, today we are talking about, as we just I just forgot how to pronounce it. Andhadhun. I have pronunciation brought up and I forgot. Oh, that's different than the one I looked up, isn't it? Hold on. Andhadhun. It's a 2018. Sorry, guys. It is a 2018.
Hey, fair enough. I forgot. I didn't know how to pronounce the name of the movie till like 5 minutes ago. So let's give Alex a little bit.
So I'm not a professional. Break. I literally looked up, listened to it. I told Ed how to pronounce it, and then as I go on a camera live, I can't do it. Anyway, it is a 2018 dark comedy from director Sriram Raghavan. Sriram Raghavan. I'm so sorry. I don't do that. Anyway.
Okay. This has been pronunciation for Indian cinema for you has been, I thought by now it would have worked wonders. Yeah, it's still been a struggle though. I'm sorry.
It's been a struggle. We'll get there. I can't get anything. There. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Help us out every time this happens, just in case.
Yeah, put the pronunciation below in the comments, and I'll read them, and I will reply to you and say thank you very much, or give it a heart or a like. Anyway, It is a 2018 dark comedy from the director I just mentioned. It sees a man named Akash. I can say his name, Akash. And a blind man, so we think he's blind. Going through his day, he almost gets run over by this nice girl named Sophie in her scooter. Sophie offers him a job playing the piano at a bar, and then things ratchet to about, I don't know, 600 in the span of like 10 minutes of the movie. And it turns out that Akash isn't blind. He goes over to play the piano at a famous client's house, and he sees that the client is there murdered. And because Akash pretends to be blind, he has put himself into quite a conundrum, which leads to this hilarious adventure of backstabbing and just insanity that is so enjoyable as a film. Ed, I have said for a long time that Pathan was like my favorite Indian movie to watch. This has, I think, surpassed it. This movie is fantastic. So what did you think of the film?
Oh my God, dude. I'm so happy you said that, because all I thought about last night was, where do I put this movie now in the pantheon of my Indian cinema list? Because I loved this movie so much, dude. Basically at the same level as you had. I was like, ugh, Baton, maybe this. And I think depending on the day, because there's such different movies, I might change that. But dude, this was so much fun, and more than fun. It was, what's so great about the film is that it's a perfect example of what happens when you let a premise just run wild and you just fully commit to the insanity of it. And thus what happens is you see all this sort of genre bending, genre melding in and out of a comedy, of a thriller, of some horror elements are in there. There was that great Scream nod. I love that. To this just surrealness. I mean, it's a wonderful cacophony of again, genres that just meld so well together. And again, I think I think the key was the script to the movie. The script is just so good. It's so clever and witty, and it just let itself loose. And it's like, how could you not be swept away with such a wild premise with these wonderful characters? And I absolutely loved it. I thought it was one of the strongest films that we've seen in our short list of Indian films that we've gone through. It's fantastic. I had such a good time with this movie. Really good.
Yeah, I would put this movie up with like Three Idiots in terms of like how good the film is, with the clever writing and like the amazing churn it takes. You know, when he takes off the I guess the blind things that can actually blind him, make him seem like so he can see again. I was like, oh, whoa, this mother not even blind.
Okay, hold on. Did you? So I did very little reading about about the I have since
I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. With the foreign cinema that we've been going down, I've been largely staying away from reading about too much about them. And it's been doing us, I guess, wonders in our enjoyment of the film. Yeah. It's no different here. I knew he was blind because I'd read the simple synopsis. I had no clue that they were going to turn that on us. And so when that moment happened, I was just like, wait, what? Hold on, what's going on? I love that moment. It was so great. And it happens a lot more as the movie goes on, but that was a wonderful twist to have early on. So I thought that was great.
I thought, it's going to be a story and like a comedy about how this guy is going to get out of this ridiculous, situation he's created for himself by pretending to be blind. And then he goes over to play the piano at, if I can remember the name of
the restaurant. Oh, no, at Simi,
Simi's
the
house,
wife's,
right?
The wife's
house. Yeah. And Pramod, I think it was, the husband's name.
The husband.
I as he goes over and then like he starts playing, I was like, oh my God, there's a dead person. And at first I was like, wait. Oh, dude. So this is what the movie's about. And dude, from that moment, I was like, I'm buckled up. Let's go. Let's watch. I'm so in for the rest of this movie. And yeah, like you said, I wrote down the same thing. I wrote down what a callback, that Scream mask where it has, and the music hits. It can almost make you do the little jump.
I loved it.
That was great. That was really well framed and really well done. And yeah, man, it was so hilarious at times and then so witty and well written at other times. I was like, wow, this is a dark comedy of a genre that I really can't say I can remember the last great dark American comedy.
Martin McDonagh, probably. It was very Martin McDonagh to me. Yeah, like it's just rare you get a dark comedy. Like that's not a very fruitful genre in general, right? It's because it's really hard to do. I would imagine, the likes of Martin McDonagh is like the most popular filmmaker that's doing it, and that this very much reminded me of that because of that, and because they do it so well, obviously. And so, no, I completely agree. I really want to talk about that scene though too, because that scene is incredible filmmaking. The whole apartment reveal. Yeah. What a fantastic scene. I just could not believe. I don't know if I had a strong reaction to a singular scene in like a while, maybe since like, I don't know, Maverick or something, like a scene in Maverick. I was just like so locked into the scene, and that scene is so greatly directed. It's just like, oh, this is the scene of the movie. Yeah. And it's so well done. He's playing music and you're just watching this thing unfold. It's so funny at the same time. It's dark. You're just like, you're just feeling all these emotions in that scene. It's so, and the filmmaking's so great. It's almost like you're watching a silent film era, you know, because he's playing the music and you're watching it in silence. It's like so great. You just don't see that. You don't see that in film in general. It's just like, this scene is amazing. This scene is absolutely, that scene alone took it above like most movies in general. It's just like, wow, what a well executed, well written scene. It was so great. I love that scene so much.
I completely agree. I loved how hilarious it was. You know, the backdrop of him playing a joyful piano song, basically. Well, everything is unfolding right in front of his face. He has to remain as stoic as he possibly can. He can't make any facial expressions because he doesn't know what's happening on. But he's got to watch these guys sweep up blood, drag the body, stuff the body into a suitcase, take the watch off of him. He has to watch
they break his finger,
crying and have a breakdown.
Oh, God.
They have to break his. Oh, I mean, everything about that was so hilarious. Like, I started the scene kind of like gripping my chair, like, oh fuck, oh no, oh no, and then it took a turn into this really funny thing. And like you said, I think you said it perfectly, dude. Like, you're so locked into that whole interaction, and I mean, I was like,
the air's just sucked out.
Fantastic.
The air's just sucked out of the whole room. Because I love the moment where he goes to this is one of my other favorite moments. Is like you think that the initial reveal of the body was enough. No, when he goes to the bathroom, it just goes up another level when you realize the camera turns and the killer's there. I was like, this is it. So the whole time he had to, like, if that was me, bro, I would have jumped. It would have been over.
Yeah.
To have seen someone there. Oh my, and to know that he had to be he just had to take that in. He just had to just take it and act normal. Is so freaking funny. It's just so good. It's so funny. Yeah. It's so well done, dude. So great.
I think, you know, a trademark of a really good director and storyteller is, you know, what you do after shock value. Like, the shock value can get you, they can grip you, but like this, it has that shock value, and then it says, okay, I shocked you, but guess what? Now we're going to come on the ride with me the rest of the way. I'm going to carry you through the rest of this film. And this one situation is going to propel it to another level. And that to me is where the film, like, really kind of just nailed it. And then everything from there, dude, I honestly think I don't have an issue with anything, really. The pacing was good.
Yeah.
But
no, I was just going to say, I mean, I wanted to go into some, like, if there was any problems. I mean, overall, though, the way that the movie resolves and ends, I'm like, I basically have no issues either. I mean, there are some flaws, but they don't detract from the movie at all. My mind doesn't think about those things when I think back on the movie. It very much thinks of all the great stuff because there's so much good stuff. So
what do you think about the open-ended ending? Because there's a lot of questions, right, on purpose. There's a lot of like, well, wait a minute. Didn't you know?
Okay.
He has friends that help him get out, but like he says a few minutes earlier in the movie, there's nobody there. He has nobody.
Yeah, correct. Well, but he's also a liar. You know this already, right? First of all, I love the ending. The ending's fantastic. It's cool. It's so in line with everything that came before it. Well, of course, I'm talking about the way that he knocks away the can at the end to suggest perhaps that he got his eyesight back, which is, obviously, unless he got daredevil powers that we don't know about. He's Ben Affleck all of a sudden. I don't know, but I love that.
I wasn't expecting.
I know, right? Well, Charlie Cox, whichever one you want.
Not daredevil, but hey.
I love that. I think here's my theory. Obviously, he can see. Okay. That's what that means. So the question is how does he see? Mm-hmm. And it's in that question where you have to go, well, what can we trust from what we've seen in the last, at least probably in the last 20 minutes of the movie or something like that, right? That's where we're like put into question. I think unless you can go further, my mind has only gone that far back, but it puts all that into question about because who's the narrator? It puts into question, like, who have we been following and who's the most reliable? You don't really know. And so I don't know. Clearly he can see. So perhaps he's lying. And there's the cane with the hair on it. That's his. So clear callback to the rabbit. So perhaps my theory is that he's completely lying, obviously, about what happened in favor of telling Sophie.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect way to look at it. I think he's telling the version of the story that Sophie wants to hear, because he tells the story that Sophie, like, and then Sophie gives him, like, I think the escape he wants at the very end of that conversation, because Sophie, you know, he's telling the story that Sophie wants to hear, that he thinks Sophie wants to hear. So he's telling her, I couldn't go through with, you know, killing off this lady and then, you know, taking her eyesight. You know, that's bad, right? But at this, you know, when Sophie, like, lets him go, she says, you should have taken her eyes. She deserved it. And then that's why he's angrily hits the can. To me, that's what the ending means. That, like, oh, he lied about the whole hair story. That never happened. They went to Dubai or Abu Dhabi, I'm not sure where it was, and that doctor took the blood to save her life, sold the kidneys, and gave her her eyesight. Or gave Akash his eyesight back.
His eyesight,
and then he went and lived the life he needed to go live.
Yes.
That to me is what happened. Because I think that's
you're right.
But, like, you know, yeah.
No, that's a good. I forget about that. I forget about the fact that, well, Sophie, as much as far reserved as she or not in that whole cacophony of shit that happened at the end, she was removed from that. She clearly had an opinion about, I forget that they had that interaction together at the apartment. She thinks that they slept together. I forgot about that. So of course she's going to feel like, oh, fuck her, that fucking bitch. I hope you took her eyesight. And so when he's singing, yeah, you're right. So when he's hearing that, he's like, fuck. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think of that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. I think I would actually go with your. He was looking for sympathy there, thinking that he would get it, and then he goes, "Oh, fucking A, goddamn it!"
Here's another mark of another great, like, directors, like that open-ended ending. You're allowed to think what you want to about it. However, if you pay close enough attention, you'll know where to go. I think, because he talks about how his friend helped him get out of India, and it was like, well, you said you don't have any friends. You don't have any friends or family. You have no one. So I was like, what friends? The cat? So yeah, I really, really enjoyed that ending. It was
I did too.
Really well done.
I did too, because again, it keeps you going on the whirlwind all the way up to the end. Like you don't know who to trust. You don't know if what he's saying, because we in the whole up to the point where you realize that he's not blind. You realize you can't trust him. That's the whole thing about his character is that you like him. He's the protagonist essentially, but he also will do what he needs to do to get what he needs, you know. And I love that too, that he's an artist, because that is typically not a characteristic of artists in movies, is to be sort of like the clever, you know, sort of Ocean's 11, or mastermind. They're dumb. They're with their emotions. So the fact that he is sort of the mastermind of it in some sense is really actually tantalizing to me. I thought that was a great use of that character. So that was really cool. But I couldn't agree with you more, man. It was the whole thing is just it's such a fun ride. You know what it reminds me of? It's almost like a reverse. What do you call it? What do you call those movies by Ryan Johnson that he's been doing? Like the murder mysteries, like Knives. It's like a reverse murder mystery, because you know what happens, you know who does it, and so the what the premise of the movie is what happens afterwards when you figure out who it is. It's so fantastic. I mean, the way that the way that it plays on that genre, I thought was so clever. I've just never. I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, we've seen movies about a murder and you know who it is and blah blah blah, but I don't know. It had that feel to it though. It had maybe like a Kiss Kiss Bang Bang ish kind of feel too.
Yeah, it was very much Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Like I would very much akin it to that. Like I think that's a great point. Like it's what happens after the murder is done. Like, there's no detective there to put it together. You're almost Lamont Blanc or whatever that guy's name is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted to ask you.
That's not it.
Well, no. What is it? No, I was thinking Perot. No, what the hell's his name?
Perot's
they call him LeBlanc. They call him LeBlanc, so I forget his first name. Anyways,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Whatever it is. There's no detective in this movie. That's what's so great, is that you're just relying on the victims completely and the people who are in it to figure shit out. It's so
clever. So clever.
It's so great. I want to ask you, so to bring it back to Indian cinema sensibilities that are in this movie, and now that we have this new genre that we've seen that they can do really well, what did you think about the sort of more Indian elements and how it played with this genre in comparison to how the Indian genre has dealt with other genres like action, dramas, and such? What did you think?
Everything like fit so well. I almost forgot it was an Indian film. I think everything kind of like melded so well. Even when he first gets the job and starts to fall in love with Sophie, and the song starts,
the song plays,
and he's there playing the piano. It's not, I'm gonna stop do a dance scene like in Three Idiots or in PK or something like that. It's gonna be fit into the narrative as a, basically a vital part of the story. He's falling in love. If you read the lyrics, he's talking about how he's seeing for the first time, which is really hilarious. Yes. It really works out. And like everything kind of just worked so well in that way. I would say to me, it's the first Indian film that didn't feel like an Indian film. It felt just like a film. It felt like an American film, like if I can put it that way, which is very, very interesting. I'm glad you asked that question. What did you think of it?
I couldn't agree with you more. And I like that you brought it to the music part of it. Because it's sort of like the top trope of an Indian film.
That's the thing.
Is the music. Yeah. But they meld it so well. And of course it has to do with the story itself because he's a pianist. But I didn't think of those scenes like an Indian movie. It's like, this makes a lot of sense for the fact that he's an artist. He would do this. The whole point of from his perspective, the story is about, I need inspiration. I need to put myself in modes where I will be able to create things. And so when you watch those scenes, it recontextualizes that. Although it clearly pulls from Indian cinema the way that most do, it made it its own. And it to me didn't play that way. It played like a, I don't know, like closer to a musical genre. This is what I was saying. Like it's like to the musicals like that we've seen where a character can break into song. But this made more sense though because he's actually performing. He's actually performing for people, so he can actually use that avenue towards that. And so I again, maybe it was a opportunity kind of thing. It kind of just met together and it makes sense. But either way, you're right. I think the fact that it didn't feel like that usual trope is a hallmark of a great use of that in favor of the story. And I loved it. I wanted to really talk quickly about the music too. The music is awesome. Like
fantastic.
The writing is fantastic. The melodies are great. Dude, Indians are great with music, man. I've been on that hype on Spotify.
Yeah. Dude,
yes. Yeah. There's such an eclectic mix of talk about. Dude, I was rocking it to that Indian show that Pramod is from. I don't know if you remember that track. I don't. By the way, is that a real show? That's not a real show, right?
I don't know. Let's ask.
Is it made for the movie? Was that like a...
Yeah,
please tell us.
Did Pramod make that for the movie? Or is he like an actor and they used his stuff?
I would love to know. Yeah. Because, if that's all fake and made for the movie, well fucking done. Because I don't know. I couldn't tell. It looks so real. I'm like, oh, he's a known actor. He must be a known actor. This must be a popular show in India and I just don't know it. Because it's so good. Anyways, that song, I'd like to know if that's real or if they wrote it for the movie because it's so good. Like I was just rocking to it. I was like, dude, I want to mix that. That's so sick. Anyways, such a great mix of music all around. I thought it was, I don't know. It's just top-notch filmmaking, this whole movie, man. Just from top to bottom. Very
top-notch filmmaking. So I want to ask,
they love this.
Because one of the biggest things that we have so far with all these Indian films, I think all of them have been a bit too long for us. All of them, even Three Idiots and PK, even though like we'll sit here and tell you 3 Idiots might be the best film we've ever seen, all of them have been a bit too long. I want to say, how did you feel about the length of this one?
I will say I won't say it was too long in the sense that I found a problem with the length necessarily, because I was having such a good time the entire way through. That being said, yeah, is there like a snip or two that could be done? Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. But I liked the whole movie the way through. It's, again, like 3 Idiots. God, that was a long fucking movie, but I can't tell you that I would cut any single frame of that movie. Yeah, I can't. I don't think I would. Yeah. And same here. I don't find it necessary. Could they? Sure. I don't find it necessary. What did you think?
I'd have to agree with you. I don't think I would cut anything from this one. This is the one, like one of the first ones for me where I'm like, I'm okay with. I think it came in like 2 hours and 12 minutes. So it came in a really well paced. I mean, you get to have the opening where you see how he is interacting, and then it kind of like teases the ripping the Band-Aid off with him not actually being blind. And then it fully rips the fucking Band-Aid off when you find out the murder, and then there's continued things. So after one goes by every day. After the first big surprise, do you have a second big surprise, like second big twist, or like gotcha scene that made you go or laugh out loud? Because for me, I have one that I just couldn't stop laughing at.
Go. I want to hear yours. Go for it.
When he brings home, I believe her name is Danny, he's just in the elevator. He comes up, and the elevator doors open, and she's throwing the grandma off the balcony. I had to pause the movie because I could not stop laughing. I thought that was one of the funny. I don't know if it was meant to be that funny, but to me, I was dying of laughter. I was like, this is fucking hilarious.
Just wrong place, wrong time. Just like every single time he's there.
Yeah,
he just happens to be there.
I was like, this guy has to be thinking, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Or like, I would love like an internal dialogue going the entire time of just self-deprecating humor. I think that would make the movie even funnier, which would be
just like, oh, fun. Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Yeah, that would be great.
Well, I actually almost really love but I love the fact that they almost don't do that, because you know what he's feeling. Just by the fact that he doesn't react. You're doing it yourself. Yeah. The fact he doesn't, because any normal person has to react to that. But the fact he doesn't already puts you into lock of like, oh, yeah. The fact he doesn't react goes to show that he did see it. That's the irony of the whole thing, is that because he doesn't react, he saw it. It's so funny. Like, just the whole thing is so clever. It's just so clever. I mean, and also I agree with you that moment was so great. But also, really quick about that moment, in my mind, I was thinking, bro, I would totally know it was the wife at that point. Oh, the freaking neighbor just happens to fall off the fucking. I'm like, come on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just, but I was like, come on. The fuck? Any normal person be like, oh, that bitch did it for sure. The neighbor fell.
Yeah.
Anyways. Come on, bro. Come on.
Oh, man. Yeah, no,
that's Unsolved Mysteries 101, bro. Yeah. Anyways. Dude, another moment. Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I thought another moment that was hilarious was the when the real wife finds out her cop husband's been cheating on her, and she's shooting at him in the bathroom. I thought that part was fucking hilarious. Also, great camera work. It zoomed, got the camera.
Yes,
you see the whole stuff like that.
The filmmaking is fantastic. The filming, I would say again, the camera work is the blocking. Again, blocking is a bit of a lost art in modern movies.
In America,
you do, and especially in America, they take the shortcut. They don't want to spend hours on set figuring out how to make this like symphony work. They don't want to do that anymore. There's just not enough time. And that sucks, because blocking is so essential. It shows you just how much it can take the experience to the next level, just by how the camera moves and the way it reveals information, the way it frames people. It's such a lost art, and I wish they would bring that back. If they just gave productions in general more time, just to even blocking would be Fantastic. To speak to that, and also to answer your last question about like moments that I loved, I love the scene of when Simi, right? Simi goes to Akash's apartment with the screen mask, and her basically trying to fish out of him that he's not blind. That whole sequence was fantastic too. I just wasn't sure how that was gonna go. And what a phenomenal scene! Again, the scream mask reveal, not something I expect. You do not expect that moment to happen. Like, where the hell did she get the scream mask? Doesn't matter. It's just you know what she's trying to do. She's trying to get him to react because she suspects that he's not blind. And then of course it moves to the living room. And she's trying to poison him. And even then, even though whether or not she was really trying to poison him, doesn't matter. She was just trying to get him to admit that he wasn't blind. She does it. And then you realize she already poisoned him with the thing in the beginning. These scenes are just so smart, so well written. That entire scene is just, I'm laughing. I'm scared. I was terrified of that scream reveal. And again, you just don't know what's going to happen. I was like, did he die? And then you find out that she freaking blinded him again. I mean, the whole movie is it's just nuts. And it's never boring. The screenplay is phenomenal. Like, again, this is a screenplay I'd be like, that could be Oscar worthy on how clever it was alone,
In movies like this, you can quickly fall into the trap, I think, of too many twists, too many but like here it all just works so well. I mean, even when he's running away from the guy trying to kill him and he hits the pole and he faints.
Oh, what a great scene. I love that scene too.
He gets picked up, of all things, by fucking organ harvesters. These terrible people pick him up, and by sheer luck he's able to memorize this lady's arm tattoo that she has. And I mean, just so lucky. And then he gets involved with these terrible people. And then to your point that you already said, no one in this film is innocent. You have somebody you're kind of rooting for this whole time. But even then you start to question, like, are you going too far?
Yeah.
And it's just so brilliantly done. I really enjoyed this movie, man.
It's hard not to
watch it again.
Me too. I'm going to watch it for sure again. It's fantastic because it just takes you. There's just so many elements being thrown in to keep you moving. And again, who thought that movie would go towards illegal organ harvesting? What the hell's going on? Like any other movie, I'd be like, what's going on? But it makes complete sense. Like that is a natural thing that, I guess would probably happen in India when you find someone on the freaking passed out on the ground and you need to make money. Some shady makeshift hospital. Let's do this. Let's make a buck. Off of
everyone's out for themselves is what this movie's
everyone's
about.
Out for themselves.
It's great.
It's
so good.
I don't know what else to say.
Anything else you
the
got
script
on
is fantastic.
Anything else you'd like to touch on?
I think we got through pretty much everything. The performances were fantastic. Again, filmmaking was great. Is there another movie that this guy does or has? I'd love to see more. He's phenomenal.
I wonder if they've suggested. I think our next film will be Barfy. That's number 2 on our list currently.
Nice.
But he has a film coming out this year called Merry Christmas.
Oh, okay. I'm in for it. I love to see it.
He's got a film called Agent Vinoid, came out in 2012.
Okay. A few years before that. All right.
Bod Lopper. It's a neo-noir action film.
Ooh, I like that. Neo-noir, man. What a genre that was lost. Talk about a genre that was lost. Neo-noir.
That's dead.
Yeah. Dead. Like what? Sin City?
So dead.
Was that the last? Batman, I guess you could. Batman was considered neo-noir, I guess.
Batman, no.
It's still more like a comic book movie to my, but I guess it gets there. It gets close. It gets close. Yeah.
What's the one with Gosling and Ford, the sequel? Blade Runner.
Blade Runner?
I think that's neo. Neo-noir, isn't it?
I would call it more so sci-fi, but yeah, sure. It's like that's as close to a neo-noir as
long is what it is. I fucking can't stand that how long that movie is.
Felt like 2049 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Woof.
I still like that movie, but I get it. I get
anyway,
it. I get it. No, I think that's it, man. I love this movie. I loved it. So again, another banger.
Great. Well, that's where we'll end it here. We hear you about the reaction videos. We're still working on it. We're in different locations. We'll try a little bit.
Can I just put this out already about that? To be honest with you, me and Alex have been trying to figure out exactly what you guys mean by that because we've never really done it. So maybe, hey, look, we just want to keep giving you guys what you want to see from us. So if some of y'all can just explain kind of like exactly what maybe you talk about. I think it's as easy as we watch the movie,
watch and react,
and we react. We edit the parts where we react. I think that's what you mean. In which case, let's do it.
I would like to preface. I've seen many films with Ed together. I'm not a very reactive person.
Like when you're watching in the moment.
Yeah.
In the moment.
Like the one there's been like two moments that have made me like really jump out of my seat. One is when Thor arrived on Wakanda. Second was when I was sitting next to Ed watching fucking Spider-Man Far From Home. And it's J. Jonah Jameson popping back out. Both of us reacted to that one because that was a cool moment. Other than that, I'm not a very big reactive guy. So like if you guys are expecting like a cool song to come on and me to be like, yeah, I don't do that. I've never done it. I mean, you'll be lucky if I'm excited at my wedding, much less a movie.
All comes out on Pizza Time podcast. Hey, let's do it and let's just see. Maybe I can help. Maybe we can police each other. Because at the same time, I'm not very much like that either. I don't watch movies and then like react to every little thing that we do. Usually we save it for stuff like this. You're cold heart. I don't know. Let's just try it. Let's just see what happens. Maybe with it in our mind, we will find ourselves, doing that. Maybe we just do. First of all, when we're in a theater, we can't typically do that. So maybe if we're just in our couches at home, we will find ourselves looking at each other and talking about like pausing the movie and being like, "What the fuck," or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
that'll
be fun.
We'll get it.
Right. Yeah, we'll try it out. Why not?
We'll give it a shot.
The audience thinks we can do it, Alex. I think we should indulge.
As long as the audience thinks so. I think that's good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing. Please keep watching. We are coming up with so much more in the not too distant future. But for now, that's it for today. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.